Hi guys, it's Mrs. Berg. I'm gonna quickly, because my kids are at a special right now, I'm gonna quickly get as much done of lesson 1.5 as I possibly can. So I am going to reverse the camera, and this might have to be taking me 2 lessons or 2 parts to get this lesson done, because I do have to leave as soon as the kids come. Are done with their special. So I'm going to get as much done as I possibly can. So here it is. How close have you been to a bumblebee? The actual length of a queen bumblebee is about 20 millimeters. The photograph shows part of the bee under a microscope at 10 times its actual size. What would the length of that bee appear to be if it was magnified to 300 times its actual size? Well, the actual size is this, 20 millimeters, and they want to know what it would appear to look like if it was 300 times that size. So right here, we would do 300 times 20. So what they're doing is they're just going to go and be, they're going to show you one step at a time. So they're saying if you take the basic fact, which is like taking off all these zeros, it is just saying 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. That's your basic fact. Now they're going to come over and they're just going to keep adding on a 0 until they add on all 3. So that is what is going on here. So they're going to do, all right, now little steps. Do 30 times 2, or 3 times 2 and then times 10 to the first power, because 10 to the first power is just 1 0. So 1 0 is 0, and then 3 times 2 is 6. The next thing that they're doing is they're just adding on another 0 until we get to this. So it is 300 times 2. So 3 times 2 is 6, and then 10 to the second power means 2 zeros, what we learned yesterday. So your answer would be 600 for this one. And now this is the real answer to this, because we finally am going to get to where we need to be. So we should do 3 times 2 is 6. And then how many zeros do we have? We have 3. So it's like really saying 6 times 10 to the third power. Again, 10 to the third power would be a 1 with 3 zeros. So that is 1,000 times 6. And what is 1,000 times 6? It is 6,000. So therefore, the length would appear to be about 6,000 millimeters. Now, this one says, what would the length of the bee shown in the photograph appear to be in the microscope shows if it is 10 times its actual size? So now it's saying just 10 times its actual size. Well, so now they want us to do 10 times its actual size. And the actual size up here, remember, was 20 millimeters. So what you would do is you would just say, I'm just going to make it a quick way. They want you to do the pattern. The pattern is not necessary, so don't think you have to do it. How many zeros are at the ends? There is 2. So then you would just put 2 zeros, leaving you with 2 times 1, which is 2. So your answer is 200 millimeters. Next, again, they want you to multiply 50 times 8,000, but they're going to do little steps until they get to that. They're going to keep adding on a 0, keep adding on a 0 until they actually get to it. So here, 5 times 8 is your basic fact, which is 40. And then you would do, just add on a 0. So that would be 5 times 8 is 40. And then you're just adding on 1 more 0. That's what 10 to the first power is. Just means add on 1 more 0. So that would be 400 for that. Next, we have 5 times 8 again, which is 40. And now we have 2 zeros. So you could say 10 to the second power, or just add on 2 zeros, or making it bigger by 2 places. Remember, making it bigger by 2 places, you move it out more 2 places. So that would be 4,000. Next, we have 5 times 8 again, and then times 10 to the third power now. So that would be 40 again. And then remember, add 3 zeros onto that. That'd be 1, 2, 3. Your answer is now 40,000. And now, this is what we really wanted to get to. It is 8 times 5, again, is 40. And then you add on 1, 2, 3, 4 more zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your answer would be 400,000. So that is how you do that. Next, they're saying in mental math, you can do the pattern to find this product. What is the basic math fact? And then go from there. To be honest, I would just go as quickly as you can. You don't need to do the pattern. It is not necessary. It's just a lot of busy work. So we can just do it. Like I always look for the zeros first. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So put 4 zeros behind, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then what is left is 3 times 4. What is 3 times 4? That would be 12. So starting back here, 1, 2, 3, every 3 need a comma. So your answer would have been 120,000. Then it's asking, what was the basic math fact there? Well, you could have said the basic math fact would have been taking off all the zeros, leaving you with 3 times, would have been the basic math fact, equals 12. Next, use mental math to complete this. So this is saying 1 times 1 equals 1. Now, 1 times 10 to the first power just means a 1 with 1 0, or however you want to look at it, it's just saying 10 times 1. So that would be 10 times 1 is 10. This one is a 1 with 2 zeros. So that is 100 times 1 is 100. Next, this is a 1 with 3 zeros. So that is 1 times 1,000, which is 1,000. The other thing you can look at when it comes to this is you can start at 1. Where is your decimal on 1? It is right here. And 10 to the first power just means you're going to move it, you're going to get it bigger by 1 place. So you could move it out 1, and then your answer would have been 10. Or this one is saying you're at 1, and now you're going to go 2 places. You're going to make it bigger 2 places. So now your answer is 200. And then this one is you're going to say you're starting at 1, and now you're going to make it bigger by 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So then this would make it 1,000. It's just another way to look at that. The next thing is the basic math fact is 56. So here they're saying do this part first. That is 56. And then 10 to the first power just means you are adding 1 more place or adding 1 more 0. So therefore your answer would have been 560. This one saying you're at 56, and then this is saying you're going to move it 2 places or add 2 zeros to the back of it, and your answer would be 5,600. This one, still 56, but now it's saying you can make it bigger by 3 places or just simply add 3 zeros behind it. So that is going to be 56,000. Next, this is 30. 6 times 5 is 30. So now we know it's 6 times 5 is 30. Now, here is the thing. Now it's blanking out this. 10 to the what power is going to make this 300? Well, if you look, 30 is right here. How many zeros are needed to be added so that it makes it 300? We have 30. How many other zeros are needed? We just need one more zero. So you would have to say 10 to the what power to say 1 0. You should say 10 to the first power. Next, now it is saying here's 30 again, and now you got to times it by what to get 3,000. So how I look at it is we already have 30. How many more zeros do we need to make it 3,000? You would need 2 places or 2 zeros. So you could say 10 to the second power. Next is 30 again. And now we need to make it 30,000. So how many zeros till we get 10 to the third power would make it that. So that is how you do those. So now they want you to try this on your own. So 5, 6, and 7. So you can go ahead and pause this and try it on your own, and then you can come back and see if you got the answers correct. So go ahead and do that now. Pause the video and try it on your own. Okay, now that you did, you should have tried it on your own. Now we can try it. 9 times 5 is 45. And then this is telling us to add 1 0. So it'll be 400 and add a 0 at the end would be 450. 450. Then 9 times 5 again is 45. Then 10 to the second power tells us to add 2 zeros to it. So it'll be 1,500. And now this one is 45. And now we should have added 3 zeros to it, and it would have been 45,000. This one, you should have done, it's already telling you it's 21. So it is 21, and then this 10 to the first power just says add a 0. Same thing here, this is 21, then add 2 zeros. So it'll be 2,100. Then this one is 21, and now you add 3 zeros. So that would be 21,000. Here, they want to know what is 5 times 4? Well, 5 times 4 is 20. So we have 20. So we just talked about this up here. We have 20. 20 is already used from 5 times 4. How many more zeros do we need to make this 200? To make this 2,200, you would need 1 more. So how do you say 1 more 0? You would say 10 to the first power will give you 1 more 0. Remember, this gives you 1 more 0. Next, we have 20 again. How many zeros do we need to make this 2,000? You need 2 more. So that would be 10 to the second power. Again, you have 20 for this. How many more zeros are needed to make this 20,000? So how many zeros do I need to add to make that 20,000? You should have said 3 zeros. So how do you write that? You would write that 10 to the third power. So that is how you do that. Next, you should have done this. You could do this with me, or you can pause it again and try it on your own. Again, multiplication is really going to be coming in handy here. If you know your multiplication facts, this will go so much faster. So 6 times 6 should be 36. And then this is telling you to add 1 0. So your answer would be 360. This one is, well, it doesn't matter which way we go. I'll just go down. 4 times 3 is 12. And this is telling me to add 2 zeros. So I'm going to add 2 zeros. So your answer should be 1,200. Next one, this is saying 30. But then you're going to have 3 more zeros. So your answer should be 30,000. Next, this is 28. And then add 3 more zeros. That would be 28,000. Next, this is 5 times 2 is 10. Then add 3 more zeros. So it would be 10,000. 8 times 8 is 64. And then you add 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then starting from the back, 1, 2, 3, then a comma. So your answer would be 640,000. Next, 9 times 8 is 72. And then how many zeros do we need to add on? That is 2. So your answer would be, coming from the back, 1, 2, 3, comma. It'd be 7,200. This one, 8 times 2 is 16. So 16 times 2 times 10 to the second power means add 2 zeros. So that would be 1,600. This one, 7 times 8 is 56. And then this is telling you to add 4 zeros to it. So when you start reading that, that would be 560,000 is the answer to that one. All right, so then it says, what does the product of any whole number factor multiplied by 100 always have? So if I pick any whole number, say 2, and I times it by 100, what will it always have? If I picked another number and times it by 100, what will it always have? Well, let's see. So if you just did the basic math fact of 2 times 1, that would be 2. And then this is telling you to add 2 zeros to the back. And then here, same thing. This would have 2 zeros. And then 5 times 1 is 5. So what would they both have? Anything that you do, the product would have at least, the product means answer to a multiplication problem. Product will have at least 2 zeros. At the end. Sorry guys, it says 2 zeros at the end. I could not really write it real well because I'm holding this camera. So I am going to stop right there, and I'll pick up later on today as I am, after I pick them up, I'll finish the rest of this. So this will be a 2-part lesson. All right, I am going to stop, and I'll see you guys later. Do go to the next video of part 2.